Hickson looks like a freaking cholo right there, huh?
Hickson Gracie, man, you know. Sakuraba right next to him, Ensign Inouye. And I guess I'm getting Hoist Gracie and Evan Tanner. Remember Evan Tanner from the UFC?
Fuck yeah, I remember Evan Tanner.
Rest in peace, right? So I guess Leonidas is he has them in his house.
Has these?
Yeah, in the box.
Leonidas?
So, yeah, just randomly. So he's like, yeah, I have to donate these to you. So I'm like, all right, let's do it.
I didn't know he was like that's instant anyway. Wow. Mm-hmm. Holy moly.
Cool, huh?
Egan, his brother was Egan anyway. I remember Egan was shredded back in the day, and I remember he had those like little.
Egan, wasn't he like the
Egan
ping pong world champion?
Was he?
Something like that. He was he was the first American jiu-jitsu world champion at blue belt.
Yeah. I remember that.
At blue belt. It was 1996 or 7 or something like that. Yeah. He was the first American to win the worlds at any belt, right?
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was
Egan Inouye.
I thought it was
and then I think he got.
I thought it was Erica Montoya. Remember, she won the.
She was the girl. Worlds? She was the girl. But actually, my student CJ, she's like a little older.
Yeah.
She actually won it before her.
Oh, did she really? Okay.
Yeah, but she was, we lived in New Mexico, so we didn't get a lot of the hype. But as far as girls, right? Females,
okay, but it was
American.
Ensign or Egan that won the world at blue.
Egan,
the
smaller. No. Did I say
Ensign? Is that Ensign? That's Ensign.
Ensign is the.
Damn, I'm getting confused, man.
The Japanese, spends.
Yeah.
Ensign Inouye. Big guy, the big guy from Pride, you know.
Yeah.
And Egan did like ping pong, and then he was just like, I'm gonna do this jiu-jitsu thing, and just went down and kicked everybody's asses.
That's crazy. He did ping pong.
I think so. I think that's what. I think Amal told me.
It just reminds me of that Bruce Lee. Have you seen that Bruce Lee edited video where they edited him and he's like doing it all crazy
with the nunchucks?
But it looks like it looks so real, man. You're like, what the? I was like, what the hell? You have to do a double take. Wait a minute, it's got to be AI, man. It's got to be AI. But yeah, are we already rolling or what? Damn, just went right into it. Yeah. No introduction, no music.
We're gonna start with the voice training.
So Alberto, I'm always joking. So Alberto comes in and I was like, you don't need to do any vocal exercises. And Alberto's like, but I had to do some vocal lessons before I was recording because I was nervous and my
Son of Sensei. That was your first album, right?
First album, yeah. And Estani, I wanted to do some vocal work with her because I still didn't feel really confident in singing, And then we did that, and I was like, "What the hell is that? I was like, what the fuck is that?" But you have to do like a scale, like. And she goes up on the piano, and I was like, I found that to be the hardest thing to do for some reason. But to just do it like is easy, but to do like a scale with it, man, that shit's hard, dude.
Yeah.
But there's something to it, obviously, right?
There's all the breathing stuff. Like guys that go to music school. Like all the different parts of the.
Man, after a day in the studio, you're like physically exhausted, mentally and physically, and emotionally too, man. It's pretty wild, yeah. So yeah.
Where did you've been doing martial arts your whole life? Like, where did the love for music? Like, you wanted to play music, and because we went to your first show back in the day in Hollywood. Yeah. Right? Remember that?
Damn, we need to do.
Was that before the pandemic?
We should do one there again. That's a cool little place, right?
Yeah.
And get like Professor Anthony to do his La Bamba or whatever he does, the reggaeton. And he can like wear a little shirt with his chest showing, do his little thing. And then I'll go up there and do a song. Oh, but since I was a little kid, man, I started actually playing guitar when I was like 9, around the same time I was doing taekwondo. And I did that because I had my best friend TC. I just did whatever he would do. And I remember going over his house one day, he had a guitar. And I was like, whoa, what the hell is that?
Yes, he always wanted to do it.
And I just did whatever he did. I kind of looked up to him. And he was like, they're giving guitar lessons at school. And I was like, what? And I was like, Mom, I got to get a guitar. And we were over there strumming and doing little recitals and stuff like that. But then it was like taekwondo, guitar, and then taekwondo took over. And then whenever I moved to Belgium, that's when I really started playing guitar. So I was playing guitar since I was like about 14. I played pretty consistently up into like I was in my early 20s. And that's when martial arts started kicking in again.
Okay.
So then after a while, like when I got introduced to jiu-jitsu and everything, pretty much put those guitars down. I just became obsessed with Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu. And then like probably a year before the pandemic, something just clicked. And I came home one day and I was
Before the pandemic?
Like before the pandemic, probably about a year, that's when I actually started playing again. But like I came home, I was having like a bad day or something like that. And then this old acoustic guitar was just like staring at me saying, play me. I tuned it up. The first chords that I strummed ended up being Gypsy Girl. That's one of the, I think that's one of the songs. That's one of the songs I did at that one gig.
Okay.
My one gig ever. One gig ever. But man, yeah, so that's when I started playing again. And then all these songs just started pouring out of me. Then the pandemic hit. And then I found that I had a lot more to write about as well. I was like, I feel really inspired by a lot of things now.
Yeah, doing like a creative thing, right, is like so good for the brain and the soul and whatever it may be, right? Whether
People
it's
don't know
writing or making music or making music.
Man,
or,
you know what, dude?
Art, right? Something creative.
It definitely is a way to express yourself. It's like a stress relief. I think, honestly, I was playing guitar so much. I think it helped keep me sane during the pandemic, man.
Yeah.
So much stuff was like coming at us, and I would just go home, pick up my guitar, and then you just tune out, man. It's just like it's like jiu-jitsu, right? Like when you're rolling, you can't think about anything else.
I'm gonna ask you something. Don't say the TRUMP because for some reason we're not getting the views or whatever. We're getting like banned a little bit, you know.
Don't speak of that. We've got plenty.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of other stuff to talk about. We don't want to even bring up that guy.
Okay.
That guy, that Hitler guy. He's a Hitler.
Careful. Now we're flagged.
What's up with all the censorship, man? I thought I was gonna end already.
No, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know that gig too, man. I had been writing the songs, and Estani knew it. I'm good friends with my singing instructor, and I remember I was about to take a nap, and then I got a text from her. She was like, "Hey, I want you to do this gig," and then I was like, my heart started beating. You know, I was like, "Oh my God, she's putting me on the spot." I was like, "But I have to do it." I was like, "I have to do it." I was like, when will I ever get an opportunity to play like that? You know, I was like, so I was like nervous. It was crazy. I was like, oh my God, my heart's beating. It's like we're about to do a jiu-jitsu match or MMA fight. I was like, oh my God, but I was like, I have to do it because it's something I've always wanted to do. So I committed myself to it and I did it. I'm proud of it, man. And it helped, you know, like I thought I was going to be more nervous with you guys there, because a lot more people showed up than I anticipated. But we were all having so much fun. We were like drinking. I think I had like a drink or two.
Shina was there.
But I was looking at that old picture. I was like, man, there was a lot of people there. Chandri, there was just like this. Remember that? There was this tall Brazilian guy. And I was like, what is that guy's name? It was driving me crazy. I was like, he was here for a while. He's like a tall Brazilian guy. He's in that picture. I'll find that picture and send it to you. Yeah, Shanji, my friend Jennifer was there.
Not Thiago, right?
I don't remember the guy's name, man, because he only trained with us for a little while. But he was Brazilian, so you guys were like already kicking it, yeah. But yeah, man, it was cool. I would like to do it again, but man, it's more difficult than you expect to form a band, man, out here. Like back in the day, there was a time where everybody just wanted to do it for the love of music, but now if I wanted to do a gig, I gotta pay people for everything.
Man, like Alshande, right? He had a band for a lot of years, and they're kind of back now, you know, by people in the where he's from, right? In the state, like just, you know, they were part of their youth, you know, so they got the band back together. But he learned how to produce, you know. He learned how to produce his own music and do all the things, and yeah, it took him. He's a talented man, right? Whatever he does, he does well.
Yeah, he puts together some good stuff, man. And you know, it's
different,
just like,
right?
if you have that it's called Pro Tools. If you learn how to use it, it's like Adobe Premiere Pro or something like that. And then yeah, I mean people are just doing music in their living rooms now.
Right. It's changed. Right?
That's why it's so saturated now. But man, I was like, and I could have done more like that on the album, but I just wanted to be old school and like go in the studio, put on a guitar, drummer in the other room, and just pound out some rock and roll, you know.
You're getting back to the old school vibes, the 80s and the 90s vibes.
Yeah, for sure, man. I couldn't, for some reason, because you could actually
making your own music video, MTV playing.
Yeah. Because you could
Joey jams in the studio.
Yeah, you don't even, if you know how to use that Pro Tools, you don't even need a band anymore, man. Yeah. You know, you can program a drum beat and it will sound like just like a drummer, you know. But I wanted to experience it. I'm glad I did because it's a huge learning process. I was like below a white belt in music jitsu. So I promoted myself to blue belt after I finished the album.
Nice, man.
Yeah, man.
Congrats.
Thank you.
It's awesome. So you're the, I guess I say unofficial, official Legacy Gala MC.
Yeah. People like to hear me talk, I guess, you know. You know what, like after the first gala that I did, because you asked me to do it, right? And I didn't realize it until I was driving there. I was like, oh shit, I gotta talk. And then on the way there, I kind of just wrote like a little script in my head, right? And then Uday was like, he was like blown away. He was like, how did you come up with that stuff like that? Did you just do it on the fly? He was like, that was amazing. I was like, really? I was like, he's like, you were so good. And I was like, oh man, thanks. But I came up with like a little bit that would like everybody there would understand about. I did something about like
bowing, right?
Bowing and keeping your shoes on when you use the restroom. To me, that is that's the dirtiest thing ever, man. Oh my God. It's funny how many people we have to tell sometimes. Hey,
put your shoes on when you go to the bathroom.
Before you go to the bathroom, man. People don't always have good aim.
Man, at the wrestling tournaments, depending on the tournament, right? Mm-hmm. But some are just so.
Oh, does it happen over there too?
I mean, yeah, it depends. But most of the American, like they just depending on the place though. They just
I never thought about that.
Their shoes because I don't think their shoes to the bathroom and then just walk back.
Horrible. They should just hire somebody just to make sure nobody does that. Then you go back on the mat again. Oh my God, it's horrible.
I remember back in the jiu-jitsu of the worlds, the mundials, right? In Brazil and Rio.
At the
Tijuca Tennis Club, they have pigeons flying, right? And the bathroom, right? There's like one bathroom, I think.
Oh my God.
And you just walk in there with barefoot.
Oh.
Wow. You go to the bullpen and you're whatever you're competing. And
that's
then you
crazy.
Walk over
so
and
you competed in that. That's wild.
Yeah, and then you go to the bathroom and then you walk back barefoot, onto the mat, and your feet are like black.
Oh my God,
it was a different time.
Hey man, that was like wow. I remember. That's cool. That's freaking amazing. Do they still have tournaments at the Tijuca place?
Not sure. They were having the masters and seniors. Mm-hmm. Now it's called something else, right? International something.
Oh yeah,
it was like back in the day. That was the Master Worlds, right? That was the one.
It used to be Master Senior Worlds, and I'm glad they changed it.
Sounds better than being a senior citizen.
Senior citizen. But that's dope that you got to compete there because I mean, people, we didn't have YouTube. We had like magazines and stuff like that, and I remember I ordered videos from Brazil on the VHS tape, and it's all grainy, you could just, it's all like it was so wild, and I was like, wow, I was just like so like, oh my God, this is crazy, dude. But that's how
like Teddy in there and like
back then it was
icons. Audrey Gracie, Jacare.
Even before that it was
Sal
like
Ribeiro.
Leo Dalla, Amaury Batesh. Who's the Roberto Travin, Castelo Blanco,
Fabio Gugel, right?
Fabio Gugel, all those like but it was in that
Marilla
Tijuca.
Bustamante too.
Marilla Bustamante. I love that. Bustamante.
Liborio.
I remember that. Yeah, that was pretty wild. Like Liborio and stuff like that. And then, I trained with Jacques briefly, and I would ask him, I was like, hey, did you know Ricardo Liborio? I was like, oh, yeah. And his wife was like, that guy has forearms like Popeye. He's like, he's so strong. Because you remember that one where he armbarred the Dutchman?
Remco Pardo.
Hemco. It's Remco, right? Remco, yeah. And then he came up and he was like, oh, Jesus. He just looked so jacked back then, He was badass, but yeah, I loved him. And Zé Mario.
Were you here when he did the Summer Night Legacy?
Huh?
Morris Ferry?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You think I was freaking... That was like my favorite seminar ever.
Morris Ferry, right?
Morris Ferry was 100% my favorite.
Zen Mario.
Yeah, because Zen Mario, right? Zen Mario. Or the Zen Machine, they call him.
Zen Machine, yeah.
Zen Machine, yeah. But he was like one of my favorites back in the day. And then in the early days, we remember Extreme Fighting. He was fighting that. He was doing the extreme fighting.
Mm-hmm. Was it Valentudo?
Yeah, it was Valentudo. That was the one that showcased like Half Gracie. I remember he choked some foot out and then stepped on his head, and everybody was like, "Whoa!"
That was Henzo Gracie.
No, that was a different. They both did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Henzo did it in reality fighting, and they all booed him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then Half did it in extreme fighting.
But Morris Berry did it as well?
No.
Okay.
No, he was in the same card.
Yeah, Half Gracie, yeah.
They were showcasing a different side of the Gracie clan. Like, I never knew who. I was like, who the fuck is this? Is that Mario guy, Oh, he trains with the Carlson Gracie, not the other Gracies and stuff like that. This is a different Gracie clan with Half, and he was like, him and his brother Henzo were like a little crazier than the other ones, But yeah, Zé Mario was awesome. His seminar was so good. Like, I don't really geek out too much, but I geeked out on him. And then surprisingly, I'm looking at the Hoist Gracie one. That was one that I wasn't like super excited about, but that turned out to be one of my favorite ones as well.
Why?
Just because man, it's these little details that, he showed how he would enter in the cage and block, grab, take down, and the way he broke it down was just pretty dope.
Yeah, a lot of years, right? Teaching and breaking it down.
It really was. And then, he has a really good personality as well. He was really fun. He was a lot funnier than I thought. But the way he broke that down, and then there's one technique that I use all the time, where he's in a mount, and you get that gift wrap, and you get to roll them onto their stomach like that, and you're trapped like this. And you feel so freaking helpless. And I was like, oh, that's what he was doing. He gets them and he rolls them onto their forward to where he's like that, lifts up the forehead like that and slips in the choke. Yeah. But when you do it, you're just like, oh my God, this is such a devastating position to be in.
Do you think MMA, do you think jiu-jitsu would have grown or exploded like it did if it wasn't for Hoist Gracie?
Hell no. No, that first fight was like the fight heard around the world.
The first UFC, right?
Yeah. Because I didn't even hear about that. I was just like stuck in Korean martial art mode, like, Hapkido and Taekwondo and stuff like that. But I had this friend, Nick. He's a retired LAPD now. He was like, have you heard of this guy, Gracie? He takes people to the ground and then he breaks their arm. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, it sounds like some bullshit, like some Steven Seagal stuff like that. But he wasn't lying. But the way he said it just sounds so extreme. He breaks people's arms, know, but he doesn't. He just makes them tap.
It it just changed everything, right? And because before that, it was like all these black belt magazines and all these death touches and all these like funky.
And I used to get all those
fu,
black belt magazines. I would get like Taekwondo magazine.
If you do this happens, and then this like. There's cage matches and real like Hoist Gracie beating all these big dudes.
It was a huge wake-up call in the martial arts world because I couldn't believe I never even heard of I can't believe I had been training in martial arts for so long and I never even dawned on me that you could take somebody to the ground and I never heard of anything like that. So it was pretty amazing and pretty exciting as well. Extremely exciting. It was just like, wow. It's like, man, you got so much more to learn about martial arts, you know? And yeah, man, you get to see the whole evolution up until now. It's pretty wild. How it had like different phases, right? It was first the jiu-jitsu guys were winning, and then the wrestlers came, and then Maurice Smith learned how to scramble.
Sprawl and brawl, right?
Yeah, yeah. That was like,
yeah, because at the beginning you represented your martial art, right? Which was the best martial art, and then then you know these styles developed, right? Ground and pound and sprawl and brawling.
But they had some of the best names these people were coming with. There was this one guy, his style was survival. You don't remember that guy?
No.
His style was survival. Well, Gary Goodridge came out and he wore a Kuk Sul Wan, which was a martial art. I was trained as a Korean martial. He wore a Kuk Sul Wan do box. I was like, this guy's... And then he ended up getting that guy in a crucifix and elbowing.
Oh my
Remember
God,
that one?
that was crazy.
I thought he killed that guy.
Yeah.
But the names they would come out with were just hilarious. Some of the survival is my favorite, though. That's the name of that guy's martial art. It was called Survival. But what was cool is like like in the beginning, remember, it was like you only did one style. It was like jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing. And then little by little, people started blending it. And then remember, Marco Hua was like one of the first people to do everything in one UFC, right? He did grappling, he did kickboxing, it was just a heel hook. We're like, whoa, this guy knows how to do everything. That is freaking crazy. Because there was nobody that was like that well-rounded back then. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because remember how and then he beat Paul Varlins, that big old giant, the polar bear, and just chopped him down with the leg kicks.
I guess the guys that were doing like pancrase and Shudo were kind of like, you know, like Boss Rutan, you know, and then Frank Shamrock, right? They were pretty well versed. They knew how to strike. They knew how to, you know, grapple.
Yeah. But you know, it's wild how they're doing that in Japan, because I guess Japan was. Did Japan start doing all that Shudo and stuff after the UFC? Or was that already going on?
I think it was going on before, but I think it got a lot more popular.
That's wild. So maybe the Japanese people were a little bit ahead of the curve, you know, but it needed the Gracies to just really blow it up.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Yuki Nakai.
Yuki Nakai, yeah.
Yuki Nakai was, I think he was a Shudo fighter, wasn't he?
Really? I think you might have been right.
There's a few Shudo fighters in those early I guess the Japan Valetudo that Hickson.
But they have that Shudo association over there too, right?
That's been around for a while.
They have Shudo, and then they have like, because there was like Shudo and shoot fighting.
Yeah.
Pancrase.
Jiu-jitsu, bujitsu, kung fu, gung fu.
The pancrase was funny because, you know, back then...
What's the difference between all this, you know, now, today and age? What's the difference between all those different names?
There is, I mean, now we know you need to do boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and jiu-jitsu. You know, those are the main core of what is MMA, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody throws, now people are throwing a little bit of karate in there. More spinning kicks are popping up.
Yeah.
Because you're getting more people that are athletic.
Yeah.
You know, and they can actually pull this stuff off, and that's pretty amazing. Because back in the day, you know, there wasn't anybody that confident doing that kind of stuff. Where Maurice Smith was just using like leg kicks and stuff like that. Marco Hua, same thing. But now you got people doing like spinning back kicks like nothing. Spinning. How many knockouts have there been from a spinning hook kick now? There's been a few of them, right? Devastating, man. So yeah, it's pretty amazing to see how far it's come.
How about just the grappling sport? You know, because we talk about MMA and how you used to represent your own style, and then like the Sheik of Abu Dhabi, right? You know, when he started ADCC,
yes,
he wanted to see which was the best style, right? You know, jiu-jitsu guys, wrestling,
that's
sambo.
Genius on him,
right?
Genius. So he's like really like the granddaddy of no-gi when you think about it. He's the one. He's like, I'm gonna get all the best grapplers in the world. Because remember in the first few ADCCs, they even had like wrestlers and judo, straight pure judo people,
sambo.
Yeah, they had all that in the beginning. It's pretty wild, yeah. And then and all the Brazilians dominated, right?
Yeah.
All the Brazilians just dominated that shit, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I was going to just say in MMA now, you have to know everything, right? But the same thing in grappling, you kind of have to know.
You have to, you have to be
know
aware of what's going on.
Wrestling, judo, if you want to be at a high level.
Yeah, I think that's probably like the main thing that has changed with jiu-jitsu is I think most people, you need to wrestle now too. You need to do a lot more wrestling now. If you're not training wrestling, I mean, you got a few people who don't even bother with like Mike Mitsubishi and stuff like that. But if you really want to be well-rounded and you want to be good, you have to train that wrestling. It's really important, super important. So yeah, that, and then like right now they're doing a lot of heel hooks. People think heel hooks are something new, but they really aren't. People have been doing it, but now people are experimenting with it a lot more. They're coming up with all kinds of honey hole, whatever.
Get all the names now.
All the names, yeah, I can't keep up with the names. When I start, people like, what about this guy? Remember, do you see that clip with Matt Serra on Joe Rogan?
Which one?
Where he's talking about those guards.
Yeah,
he's like, a coyote guard. Then Hanzo Gracie goes, man, don't make it so complicated. There's so many names now.
Just show me the move.
Yeah, just show me the move. But it's kind of good in a way too, because
to name him, like Eddie Bravo was one of the first guys.
Eddie Bravo, I got to give him credit for because I use a lot of his stuff, lockdown or.
But he named the transitions, named the different positions. Which helps you learn, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because there's there's in between moves that need names as well. Like I use one move called the ice pick. When you get somebody in an O-plot, you kind of shoot your legs forward. I was like, that's a cool name. It sticks with your head. It sticks in your head. So it's really important to. I think it's extremely important to name things because we have so many names. There should be like a jiu-jitsu manual with vocabulary words now. Hey, that's a good idea. We should use that to start testing people. Have a written test. What do you think about that, caveman? Is he allowed to talk? Yeah. Is he allowed to interact with the guests? I just see him going like this.
That's funny, right? We're having him be quiet like that. We're always talking and hanging out, all of a sudden he's all quiet with his hoodie on.
It's very weird not hearing this guy talk. Just be quiet. That's pretty. You impressed me with your discipline over there, man. He's all business
right?
over there.
He's switching. He's live switching.
He's on the ones and twos over there.
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing? You're switching?
Mm-hmm. Like TV.
Nice.
High level.
Nice, man.
Yeah, moving up. Next step is going live.
Well, Joe Rogan has that one guy that does all that stuff, right? And he ends up being able to do like everything. He does all that shit, and he's just. Is it the guy he's always talking to?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie. He's the Jamie right here, right? Can you pull stuff up on the computer like that, like quick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
We're getting the
Look
flow.
it up, Kevin. Look it up.
We're talking about it. And we can't come up with the name or the word, and he starts looking it up right away.
Good. You got to multitask. That's funny, yeah. Maybe eventually you'll give him a microphone too, and then he can like.
I was trying to set that up.
I've thought about it, but I don't like messing with the flow.
Okay.
Sometimes
that's too much
because there's
Kevin.
there's a connection.
There's sometimes where I wanted to talk and I held it, and it ended up being a great podcast. You know what I mean? And if I would have talked, it would have changed everything.
I feel you. It's like it's all about the guests. Yeah, man. So jiu-jitsu has changed a lot, man, and they're now you got all these like there's not really a whole lot of just no-gi only gyms. I mean, you got 10th Planet, you got a couple of them, but now
What do you think about this whole gi versus no gi?
Oh my God
thing? Let's talk about it because we in our last meeting it came up.
Yes, it came up. I think Eddie Bravo is great. I think he's very smart. I think he's come up with a lot of really good things, and we need people who are like thinkers in jiu-jitsu and analyze things and stuff like that. But as a result of him like breaking off and doing no gi only, that kind of really like put a rift in jiu-jitsu. And then there was never a question of gi or no gi until that happened, you know?
Yeah.
And now people are like, gi's stupid. Oh, no gi's. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No gi's more realistic. Oh, no, this is more realistic. It's like, the proof is in the pudding, man.
Just train.
The proof is just do, like Marcelo Garcia goes, if you love jiu-jitsu, do both.
Yeah.
They're both fun. But like, I always point out that the best people at no gi do gi too. There's a few exceptions here and there, you know. In ADCC, think about somebody who only did no gi and won ADCC. I only can think of one guy. Now, I'm gonna see if you can remember the guy. Like back in
did no gi.
that did only no gi. Like think about all the ADCCs in the past.
Oh,
right?
it was Jeff Monson.
Jeff
right.
Monson. Oh, I didn't think about that.
He's like a wrestler.
Yeah, because he was more of a wrestler. Yeah, right. And he did. That's true, huh? But he was a freaking.
Then he put a gi on later anyway.
Yeah. But I was thinking of remember that guy? He was like a luta libre guy. Alexander Kakareko.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Kakareko?
I think so.
He was just like a jacked fucking
Yeah.
luta libre. He didn't do gi. That's the only other person. So I guess there's two people who actually did only.
Did
no
he
gi.
win?
He won one. He 1 year. He won a.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he won one year.
I mean,
And I was like, whoa, this guy fucking, because he was being consistent and competing a lot, you know, and it paid off. He was just a specimen on that guy. He was just fucking jacked, yeah. So yeah, now
vitamins and minerals.
Yeah, remember
on
that?
Point.
Vitamins and minerals, yeah. I remember everybody was sponsored by that. I remember like we're going back to the. Remember it was like vitamins and minerals, and before that, I remember I used to always say BB Sucos on their gis. What was that?
There was like a juice place. It was a place that I would love to go to when I was younger. You know, when I was going to Rio and competing, and when I lived there for a little bit.
It was just like it was like
an acai place.
It was like an acai jungle cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was an acai place. And they had all these juices too, natural juices.
Oh, so
so we would have that too, but it's just like too.
They sponsored a lot of people, man.
Yeah. Well, there was another one called Poli Sucos.
I don't remember that one. I just remember BB. For some reason,
they had them on the geese.
Sucos.
They had them on the geese.
Yeah.
The Poli Sucos, but BB Sucos was my spot. You know.
Did they have like a lot of them, or did they just have one?
At the beginning, they had one, maybe like in Leblon. You know.
Where's that?
Is it Leblon or Ipanema? It's right next to Ipanema.
But it's in Rio.
In Rio, yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the neighborhoods. And then Baja, next to the Baja.
And that was your spot?
Yeah, I loved it, man. I loved it. I went there like every day.
Yeah? Nice. That's cool, man.
And you see people, kind of like Açai Jungle. You know?
Yeah.
The same vibe, the same. I think, but Nare and all the things that they do, it's like, it's just high level food too, really good. Always adapting, always changing things up for trying different things, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. Nara is an amazing chef. Like, I don't like salads, man. I don't like. You'll never catch me eating a salad, man. But she makes some awesome ones. And I was really like when I was. I said I wasn't gonna bring this up, Kevin, but that was one of the stipulations of me doing this. I was like, we can't bring up veganism.
Pizzagate. You brought it up.
But yeah, I brought it up. I'm the one who brings it up.
Pizzagate. We don't talk about Pizzagate.
That should have been a keyword. We cannot bring up Pizzagate on the podcast. But she made the tofu salad, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, that thing is fucking awesome, dude. So good. A tofu salad with like I think it was like a peanut dressing or something like that. But yeah, man. That place is bomb, man. People love that place. But if you can make a salad taste good, and it's just not your typical salads either, like a beet salad. Like, where you ever hear about a beet salad? Oh, her other favorite salad is like, remember the chopped salad?
Chopped salad.
The chopped salad. That thing is bomb.
I get it with chicken and extra. Is it walnuts, right? Walnuts.
The walnuts, yeah. I get extra walnuts. The candied walnuts.
And I get with chicken.
Yeah. I always get extra candied walnuts in that one. She's gonna have to bring that one back now. I have to hit her up. We just plugged your chopped salad, Nare. But yeah, that place is bomb, man.
I think it's good, right? You kind of if you take it for granted, but you take away stuff and then bring it back every so often for these like special menu items, right?
It's good to mix things up. A lot of places do that. I think that's pretty typical. You know, oh, the special of the week or special of the month. I think that's cool. Adds a little variety, but then you keep your staples that people love. You know, because people depend on that egg sandwich every morning. You know, people love that chicken panini too. People are that's like I see people always get. I still always see Dawson with one of those sandwiches, or Jarrell. I call him Mr. Panini Man because he's always eating a panini, and so I call him Mr. Panini Man. That's his nickname. But yeah, on that the panini though, that's the chicken pesto panini.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you guys a hack. Get it with avocado. You don't think it would go because it's like Italian, you know, pesto. But somebody in the kitchen a long time ago was like, get it with avocado. I was like, that's the hack right there. Get it with aguacate. Or if you're a vegetarian, get it without the chicken and get it with avocado.
Oh.
And what you have is you have like a bougie
Techniques,
grilled and cheese. Yeah, man.
Techniques.
Yeah, man. I've been going to that since it was like a little cart, you know? Remember? Remember that little cart?
Yeah. What a story, huh?
Yeah, man.
It's cool.
That's when I first met Nari. Because she used to push that little thing out there right there. Push it out through the gym. We'd help her open the door, right? And there'd be like a line down the street, you know, to the end of the corner. And if she was a little late, people would be like knocking on the door and like poking their head in. Like, they're like, where's that acai? You know? It's like crack, man. But yeah, it's pretty brilliant. Great place.
Man, you've been a vegan. You were a vegan. You're not a vegan anymore. But you kind of, would you consider yourself like a vegan connoisseur, like just on good vegan food?
Yeah.
You would go to all the places in LA and check them out.
I do. There's two places that if they were closer, I would definitely go. There's two places. There's this one place in Encino. It's called Vinloy Tofu. The guy's like a freaking culinary genius, and that's why I like a lot of celebrities go there. Like Edward James Olmos and John Sally and Miley Cyrus, and they would all go there because this guy makes like I guess it would be more like Vietnamese style like soups and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you would just be like, what the hell? Like, so good. Definitely try that. If you're vegan, check that place out. Or if you just want to try something different. And there's this place called El Cocinero, which is vegan Mexican food. And I don't know if you remember back in the day, that place started as a pop-up. It was called Vegetino's, and they used to pop up right over here in Burbank. And on Fridays after interval training, I would go over there, and then I would post, and people were like, that's vegan? And then the next thing you know, all these people from Legacy that weren't even vegan would be over there eating it. That's how good the food is. You know what I'm saying? It's good. So that's about those.
Where would you rate the Açai Jungle Cafe on the vegan scale?
The vegan scale? You know what, man? Like, they're pretty good. They have a lot. I mean, if you think about it, they have like a good bit of vegan options. I mean, the mushroom panini. Oh my God, that thing is crazy. Like, I remember like when I was like, how is this vegetarian? It has cheese in it. She's like, no, that's like cashew or something like that. You know, that's a vegan thing, right? Cashews.
There's a place called Sun Cafe, I think.
I've heard of that.
City.
I remember a lot of people like that place.
That was one of the first places I went to. Like, I just to check it out. Like, vegan, because there was like a whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm. You're like, what? I got to check out this vegan craze. Let me see what's going on.
Yeah,
that's what made you go to Sun Cafe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty popular place that had like a lot of vegan stuff. But I mean, they got like the coffee shake. That's a vegan coffee shake. They got the mushroom panini. Is freaking really good. And then their salads. They always have that kale salad is vegan, and people love that fucking thing.
Yeah, that's good.
If you can make kale taste good, you know something. But you know the technique behind the kale. You don't know?
I've heard.
I walked into the kitchen one day, and Nari was massaging the kale. Massage it with I think it was some kind of oil she was massaging. I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm massaging the kale." What the hell? But it does something to like bring out the flavor or something like that, man. But she makes a good kale salad, yeah, man.
Techniques.
That's some culinary jitsu stuff, you know, for sure. But yeah, those are only 2 places I can think of as far as vegan. If it was closer, I'd go to it more often. But it's pretty far. It's like one's in Van Nuys and the other one's in Encino. Yeah, but after the trauma that I experienced from being vegan,
Pizzagate.
after the trauma,
Pizzagate.
but you know what, man? Like, but I'm glad I did that, man. Because first of all, I proved all you guys wrong. You gave me 6 months.
Yeah.
These guys
true.
were placing bets on me. There was like, I could write a book on that, man. You know, like when I was young, my dad said, "Son, don't talk to anybody about religion. Don't talk to anybody about politics. You'll always end up getting into an argument." You can add diet to that as well, for sure.
Vegan diet.
Triggers people. People don't like it. They don't like it. They don't like when you go vegan. They all turn against you, man. And these guys started putting bets on me. Kevin, were you one of the ones putting bets? No? Alberto was the first one. He goes, "I got $20. He only lasts 6 months."
I would just tell you straight. I was like, man, 6 months, bro. You're gonna
6 months tops.
turn in your Latino card.
Like, no way, man. Like, give you 6 months.
How long were you?
I was like 3 years.
3
I did
years,
like
yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
And then I went vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, and then back to normal. But you know what trick?
How'd you feel with just thinking about it now? Like, how do you feel with eating meat and just eating? How'd you feel in the different things that you just eating fish?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't feel any different because I already knew, like, right away that, like, if I could live off of beans and rice if I really needed to. I started thinking, I was like, oh my God. I remember I competed in Portugal and I was vegan in the Euros, and I was like, what the hell am I going to eat over here? But they have beans and rice, right? Every place has beans and rice, you know. But and some people, you know, they're ignorant because if you're gonna go vegan, you should really like study it to do it right. You know, some people are just eating like lettuce and shit like that, man, and then they realize, oh, I feel lightheaded. I wonder why, because you're not fucking eating anything, man. So at the end, during the pandemic, I was still vegan, right? I didn't want to go to the store, or I didn't want to do any, you know, because I didn't want to use a card or anything like that. So all I was eating was beans, rice, and broccoli, and like vegan. I would just sprinkle some vegan cheese on it, and then I was teaching all those classes on Zoom, and I had to work out with the class. You know, I couldn't just hey do it. You know, I had to do it with everybody, and I was freaking jacked, and I felt great. So there was never any point where I was like, oh my God, I need to eat some meat or anything like that. But then again, I was eating a lot of beans and rice, which it's like a complete protein. But yeah, I don't really feel any different, to be honest with you. I don't feel any different. I never felt like malnourished when I was doing it because I was eating plenty of fruit too. That's another thing I was doing. I was eating plenty of fruit, but I felt good. But it's just so freaking restrictive, man. It's so like you know, you can't go out with your friends. Chicks don't want to hear it. Chicks don't want to. If you're going to go out on a date with a girl, they don't want to hear, hey, I'm vegan, you know. And then some of them act like they're cool with it. Oh, I'm cool with it. And then after a while, like, oh, I feel bad. I'm eating a burger and you're having, you know, whatever, you know, like.
Lettuce.
Yeah. You're eating a carrot. I'm eating a burger. You're over here gnawing on a carrot. I feel bad. But man, you know, you can't go out to dinner with your friends and man, every time you're hungry, you gotta cook it or something like that because there's vegans a lot. I mean, LA is pretty cool for being vegan, but then after a while, it's just like fake this, fake that, that, and then I'm like going, what the hell am I eating, man? And it was like, oh my God, you're looking at the ingredients and some of the stuff, and they're doing better, they're making better stuff like that, but like it wasn't real. Some of it wasn't real food, right? And some people feel okay. Like, they're like, well, I don't care. I'll eat vegan junk food as long as it doesn't kill out animals or whatever like that. I don't care. But I was just like, ugh, what am I doing? Like, I could be, like, killing myself by eating all this weird shit. Impossible Burgers. Bill Gates burger. Is that controversial?
I don't know.
Can I say his name?
We'll see.
But man, like I was like what they. It's not real food. You know, it's just all this weird stuff in it.
I was at the airport and was it Umami Burger that they have?
That place is bomb. What airport has Umami Burger?
I think LAX.
Really?
Yeah, and I ordered a Impossible Burger.
You ordered it?
I didn't realize it was. I was
what the fuck am I eating?
No. I ordered it and I went back, to wait, and the dude's like, you ordered what you ordered, right? And I'm like. I was like, I got mad right away. I was like, cancel this and make it a regular burger.
Alberto has anger towards veganism.
No, it's just
that's funny.
I don't feel as good.
Yeah.
That's not as filling. I just don't feel as good. I feel like I'm not getting the nutrition.
And all it's pretty wild that they could do that, but it just has like a weird aftertaste. And another thing a lot of people don't know is that in the Bill Gates burger. they were trying to find out what makes meat taste meaty, like, right? So it's like something, it's iron, but it's called heme.
Heme?
It's called like heme iron. So they figured out a way to genetically modify some heme, and that's what they use.
That's crazy.
I wonder if I'm gonna get fact checked on that. They're gonna fact check me, like put a little notice under that. This is not true.
It just makes me think about like the Matrix and the babies being born and like are we living? It just makes me think about all that world.
Who knows what food's good? You ever see those like sci-fi movies where they have like a pill and they put it in the fucking microwave and they click it and it comes out and it's like a burger or something like that?
Yeah.
Pretty soon that's gonna be our food, man.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen in the next 5, 10, 20 years?
I don't know, man, but we're like
with technology.
We're in the midst of some pretty wild ass shit, man. Like I was downtown getting a new phone, and I was right next to one of those. We're already living in the space age, man. Those fucking cars that drive by themselves. What are they called?
Cybertruck? No,
the ones that it's like the Uber without a freaking Uber
with
driver.
the little things on top of
Waymo. Is it Waymo? What are those? What is it called?
Yeah. I'm not sure the name, but
and I was just like,
I see him driving around with.
Yeah, there's a name for it. I forgot what the names are, and I'm like,
would you go into it?
Hell, freaking no. Could you imagine you order Uber and just a car shows up and you're like,
well, it's coming. It's coming soon.
No, man, because they're after me. They've been after me for a while. They might just take me straight down to the police station. I don't know. But nah, man. That's why, there's a lot of stuff going on, man. They got these robots now. Well, I don't know if it was at a show or something, but they were showing like it was a lifelike female robot, and I was just like, man, this is freaking crazy.
Did you ever see that? What's it called? Artificial Intelligence movie. It was a Steven Spielberg movie with.
I think I know what you're talking about. AI. It was called AI.
AI. He was looking for his mom, and he goes.
I remember that movie, but I don't remember. It was Haley Joel Osment was that kid.
The kid, yeah.
I don't remember. I remember the movie. I don't remember
and
watching.
He's looking for his mom, and he thinks he's real. He thinks he's a human, and he goes on this like crazy adventure, and he it's like all these kind of sex cities with these robots and like. It's just crazy, man. Like, and this kid was made to be like a, substitute for a kid, for a mom that was sad. And it's just crazy that, because that's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. And
I feel like we are not that far from that.
And people not having a harder time having kids, right? And
I wonder why.
Just, all the foods and all the.
Yep.
Yeah. And then all these things happening, and who knows what's gonna happen,
And I we don't want to start going down rabbit holes or anything like that, do we? Want to make it too controversial? But man,
don't say the word. Don't say that word.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah, all this stuff that they put in our food, it changed. It's like all these weird chemicals that they put in our food that is. I think they know what it does to us. And that's why it's like it sterilizes some people, man. I really think it does.
Yeah. There's so many chemicals in
And I
all
think
our
they
stuff
know
now.
because they're not going to put something in our food unless they test it a little bit. So they know what it does. They know it. It's just like for the longest time, I don't even like to bring up Alec Jones because he's such like he's almost like a WWE, but he's been rambling on about they put stuff in the water that turning the frogs gay, like he does. It just sounds so like wild. You're just like, what the fuck is it? He's kind of like that, and that's no, I almost said it. Oh, we're not gonna do it. All right, yeah, but he just sounds so wild when he says it like that. But I was like, what is this fucking guy talking about? And then I heard RFK Jr. talk about it, and it's a pesticide called atrazine. And if you can just Google it on your phone, or you could even say, what is the pesticide that changes the sex of a frog? And then atrazine is going to come up.
Yeah, man.
So they know what it does. Yeah. If that stuff's all in our food, if it's changing the sex of a frog, that's pretty wild, man. That's just some wild shit, man. So yeah. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, the food, man, that's crazy. We'll see if RFK gets confirmed, right?
Yeah. Did you see some of the hearing?
Man, like it's like for some reason right now I can't even watch. Like it's an overload of who. It's just like every little.
Yeah.
I'm just like it's becoming too much. And I saw little clips of what's her name? Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. And she's like rambling on and getting mad at. I'm like, man, this is just all like political therapy. It's all political theater, dude. Like it's just like I'm not even gonna look at it because I know it's fucking stupid. And, some good actors in there. She deserves an Academy Award for that one. But yeah, man, like back to the robots. I mean, that's what Elon's doing all that, right? Elon's doing the robots. He's gonna have some robots that are gonna. I know for one thing, those robots. I hope that nobody will trust a robot to teach him jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm saying? So I think our jobs are safe for now. They'll find a way. They'll find a way.
As long as there's people being born. As long as there's going to be people.
But they'll try to do it. They're like, hey, you get your own little AR robot that teaches jiu-jitsu until one like chokes somebody.
You remember
to
in the
death
Matrix, the guy just plugged in a thing.
Yeah.
And he knew jiu-jitsu.
Well, who's working on that? Neuralink. There you go. That's who's working on that. Elon Musk. He's working on that Neuralink. I think did they already do it to somebody? It's like a little chip they put in their head.
Yeah.
There's another movie.
Would you do the chip?
Hell no.
Kevin, chip or no?
No. Chip or no chip. He's like, the only chips I do are Chips Ahoy.
I got no V either. What about the AIV?
AIV?
The AI, man.
Yeah.
Coming soon. The AIV.
So are we living in a simulation? Are we in the Matrix?
Man, I don't know what we're in, man.
What do you think?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think about it too much.
Ask Sevan, he said no.
I don't know, man. There's so many, like, have you ever seen that movie Prometheus?
Prometheus. It's an old movie?
Yeah, it's older. Okay, so you got the Alien movies, right? And then Prometheus is the precursor to that.
Oh, okay.
So, but they allude basically to that we're like created by aliens. And it's just like, whoa. And you're just like, that movie, and that's my favorite of the aliens. I'm not a huge like horror fan, but that one just got me like going, what, man, what if we were created by aliens, That's pretty wild. All I know is like, listen, man, like, all I know is life's a lot shorter than you think. We just had a mutual friend of ours die, Steve. And, I've had so many people close to me die that, and you start thinking of it, what do you do? Where do you go where you die? When you die, what happens or anything like that? And the smartest people in the world still can't explain it. I think it's something that we're not supposed to know. I mean, like, how long have we been in existence, and nobody can come up with a conclusive answer? Like, the smartest people in the world, all they can think about is their solution is, or their theory is the Big Bang theory, right? There was an explosion. That just doesn't make any sense, though. But the smartest people in the world all agree, like a lot of them. I hate to say the vast majority, but I mean,
Yeah, we think, but we don't know, right? Nobody really knows.
Yeah, but what caused the explosion?
Yeah.
You can go that, like, people are like, oh, there's a God, but
Yeah.
did God just exist? Who created God? You know, it could just, I think it's life's biggest mystery, and we're not meant to know. I just like to think
It just is. It is
what it is.
I was studying a lot of future stuff. Like maybe it was before the pandemic. That Ray Kurzweil guy, he has the singularity. Where we're gonna merge. Basically, we're gonna make technology and the brain with the human. They're gonna make us smarter than humans. When that merges, and I was kind of getting sad. Like we don't matter. We're not significant anymore. And so I just kind of stopped like doing that.
Yeah.
And
If you think about it too much, you'll freaking go crazy, man.
yeah.
You freaking go crazy. And I think, like, with religion too, man, like, people, it could have an opposite effect, Like, you start thinking about things too much. You start feeling guilty about everything. And, like, you got to make sure you're going to go, there's a heaven. And it just, I think that in itself, like, if you think about it too much, man, it'll just go crazy, dude. Like,
Just do good things.
We're here.
Make things we're here for a short time.
We're here for a short time. Just try to be, the way I feel is like, listen, man, if you're a good person, I wrote a song about it. It's called Babylon. Babylon. Go check out my song, Babylon, Son of Sensei, on all platforms, SUN. Anyway, I remember I was like, my dog died. He was almost 17 years old. And I wrote that song, I think I wrote that one during the pandemic. And I just remember looking over and I didn't know dogs went gray. I didn't know their faces went gray, like we go gray or whatever.
I don't know.
And I was just like looking at him, I was like,
I never had a really dog.
You need a dog, man.
Right?
You need a dog. And I just remember seeing his face, and I was like, man, he's fucking old. He's going to die soon and stuff like that. And then I started thinking about it, and it just inspired me to write a song called Babylon. And I just feel like if you're a good person, when you die, if we go somewhere, we'll go somewhere good. Like, if you're a good person and you'll die with, like, your conscience is clean, and you did good things in life. You didn't do anything really bad to people or anything like that. You live a good life. Try to be the best person you can be, regardless of what religion you are or whatever like that. I feel if you go somewhere, you'll go somewhere good.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all I say is, like, I don't know if there's, like, a heaven. Like, to me, heaven, I respect all religions, I don't care what you believe in, but some of the stuff, like, there's a heaven where you go, you're gonna, like, know everybody, all your family's gonna be there.
We don't know, right?
I'm gonna get to hang out with Elvis, and like, I don't know, maybe we have, like, little wings and we fly around everywhere. Like, are we all vegan in heaven? What do you think? That's the question. But yeah, so, like, I have a simple philosophy. I was like, be a good person, and then when you die, you go somewhere good, hopefully. But I don't know, man.
That's good, man.
I
like that.
Life's biggest mystery.
That's it.
Simple philosophy, man. Simplicity. I'm a very big believer in simplicity.
My grandmother was very religious, and she, believed in heaven and all those things. And then my grandfather, he wasn't as religious, and he just believed that. Very spiritual guy. But he believed in just, you live on through other people that you influence, and you hopefully you do some good things for people.
For sure.
And you live in through them.
For sure. That's why, like, being a jiu-jitsu instructor, like your name is going to live on forever. You know what I mean? Because you've made a lot of black belts. You've trained a lot of people. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, I used to train with Alberto. Okay, they're going to be telling their kids about it. They'll teach them jiu-jitsu, and then that's the lineage, right? Like, same with me. I've been teaching here for 12 years now. And and I still run into people, and you see how you impact their lives in a positive way, right?
Yeah.
So I was over there waiting to ref at the in-house tournament we had recently, and I was just stretching there, and then some girl came up with a little kid in her hand. She's like, Joey. And I was like, she's like, you don't remember me? And I was looking at her, I was like, oh my God, she looks familiar. What do I know her? She's like, I used to train at your gym, SoCal. Back in the day, I'm Rosanna's friend. I was like, oh my God. I was like, Ashley, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, oh yeah, I miss those days, blah, 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 blah. She's like, we're training in Pasadena Legacy now. And I'm like, that's fucking cool, man. You know, like, wow. So yeah, man, you know, like when you teach, you know, you're kind of keeping your name alive in a way, you know what I mean? You know, kind of like how like, back in the, you ever see that movie Troy? Mm-hmm. And back in those days, they cared more about how their name would live after they died than anything in the world. You know what I mean? And that's what Achilles' problem was. His Achilles' heel was his ego.
Ego, yeah, that's it.
His ego, right? That was his ego. He was like, his mom was like, you know, if you go to this war, you know, she was like, if you stay here, you'll have a nice life, you know, nice boring life, have a kid, blah, 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 blah. She's like, if you go to this war, you're going to die, but your name is going to live forever. I mean, that's pretty heavy shit. I mean, it's a movie, but man, you know, I feel like what we're doing here, teaching, and we're planting like a good seed in people, man. Jiu-jitsu is like very positive. It's giving you good attributes. It's teaching you discipline and respect and stuff like that. And that stuff, a lot of this stuff is, we taught it to these people, and they're going to carry it on for generations, you know. So that makes me feel good too. And it makes me feel good that people like you and I, we're just always doing what we want to do. Like when you're in life, like I could have worked for the city of LA, but man, there was something telling me like I had to fight MMA, man. Like in my heart, I was like, I know if I didn't do it, then I would have regretted it. Because I already had like regrets. I wish I would have took football more seriously. I'm like, damn, you know, I wish I would have wrestled. My friend Rich Nagel was always telling me to wrestle. So that's what we do. He was like, you know, I got to do everything so far in life that I've wanted to do. I've wanted to compete and travel. I wanted to make an album since I was like in high school. You know, I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool to make an album? And I had an opportunity. It took me 3 years to do it, but I did it. And, you know, I got people like I have a few streams in Nigeria, in Slovakia, in Lithuania, like weird stuff. People, you know, like, that's pretty cool, man. You know, in the scheme of things, if you have I have like 5,000 streams on one of my songs. I'm like, that's pretty cool, man. Some people like it. But yeah, life's short, man. So I just choose to do the things in life that I want to do. And when you do that, you feel so much more fulfilled. You know, like our job is very fulfilling, I think. Coming here, people depending on you and you teaching them, giving them a good class, and everybody's happy and you know,
making a difference.
Yeah, man, for sure, dude. So for sure, man.
Love it. Seeing you get emotional.
Man,
getting choked up.
You know that I love that fucking movie, man. I love that movie, and I think Brad Pitt. People talk. You could talk shit about Brad Pitt, but he's been in some of the dopest roles ever,
for sure.
And Achilles was just like, he was like a dead ringer, man, because I loved like Greek mythology and stuff like that growing up. And then he had that other speech. Remember, he's on the ship. They're about to attack the shores, and they're like, "What is this guy doing? He's gonna attack the shores by he's crazy." And he starts pumping up he goes, "You know what's on that beach? Immortality." And I was like, before my MMA fights, my little brother, rest in peace, he would send me that video. Because I remember one king in the cage, he was going, "You're a lion." And I remember I was so tired, I almost wanted to tap out between rounds. And he was repeating like Troy. He was like, "You're a lion, you're a lion." You know, I'll never forget that, man. But yeah, it's a great movie.
It's cool because just ego when you're younger, doing this, immortality, whatever. But it's like as you get older, right? It's just like you're doing good, right? You've done good. You've helped people. Be better. Be better man. People. And at the end of the day, that's all we got, right?
Yeah, man.
We're not taking anything with us. You know, if you made.
I tell people that all the time. I was like, "Hey, man, you ain't gonna take nothing with you on your deathbed. Oh, you know, you can't take your wife, you can't take your kids, you can't take your car, you can't take anything. But, you know, you can have like that peace of mind and knowing that, you know, you lived a good life.
Yeah.
And you did good things.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, so then I think you'll have no regrets.
Thank you, Professor Joey.
Yes, sir.
Joey
Pleasure.
Jams. See you on the mat.
See you on the match.